Hello, welcome to my video game series. Every first Saturday of the month I want to do a review of a video game, and since October is horror month, I thought I'd go ahead and review a horror game. This month I'm reviewing a older game, came out in 2008, called Dead Space. A lot of reviews I see online are really kind of positive for this game, but I don't agree with them. I don't know, let me get into that. But first, plot in a sentence. Play as Isaac Clarke, a member of a maintenance crew who is sent in to repair and investigate the Ishimura, a mining ship which had mysteriously gone dark. The Ishimura was a giant ship known as a planet cracker. Basically what they do is they go up to a planet, smash it open, and mine all of the minerals inside using gravity beams and whatever future tech that they can use to just rip a planet apart.
That's one hell of a way to do it.
Yeah, it's kind of odd that they did this on a planet that had a colony on it, but as you go through the game, it's kind of apparent that they weren't supposed to be there in the first place. Yeah, the captain of the ship was a member of a odd, creepy cult known as Unitologists. I think the Unitologists were supposed to be a kind of allegory to Scientologists. But anyway, in this game, they worship some kind of strange alien artifact that kind of started the whole zombie apocalypse that happens on the ship. And they believe that the mutated monsters that people had transformed into, they believe that that's the next stage of human evolution.
A cult that worships an alien artifact that causes a mutated zombie apocalypse. Gee, that sounds familiar.
Yeah, a lot in this game does. Yeah, kind of like the silent protagonist. Isaac Clarke is his name is based off of two sci-fi authors. I completely forgot all their works right now. I can't remember who he's based off of, but I'm sure you'll know. Yeah, I can't really say how his character aligns with their work, because as I'm finding out with my book report series, I read a lot when I was a kid, but apparently I didn't read all that much. But anyway, after the Ishimura goes dark, you're sent in in a 5-person crew to go see what happened to the Ishimura. Unfortunately, 2 of the crew is just red shirts. They aren't even given credits in the opening sequence. They're not introduced or not anything. You go open the door and squish. A giant zombie jumps out of the ceiling and smashes them just immediately. It's like, wow, that's not very dignified. The other members of the crew is Hammond and Kendra. I guess Hammond is the one that's in charge because he keeps saying that he's the one in charge. It is kind of hard to tell because they're both just going around telling you what to do. They're both barking orders at you the entire time. You get cut off from them pretty early in the game, and you spend the rest of the game going around fixing things as they bark orders at you over the radio. Hammond goes to the bridge, and he's determined to get things fixed up, and that's the mission. He's dead set on getting the mission done, is going around fixing the ship, even though it's pretty obvious that the whole situation is way beyond the point of no return. But I do gotta give him props because he's there to do a job, and that's the job he's gonna do. He does eventually say, "Fuck this shit, I'm out." After towards the end of the game, but unfortunately it's kind of too late. But I really got to give him props for how well he kept it together during the whole mutated zombie apocalypse. But Kendra, she finds her way to the computer room and pretty much goes, "Hey, go fix that. No, go fix that. No, you gotta go fix that." Because it's too dangerous to go out there by myself, and so she sends you by yourself to go fix it all. It's like, thanks, lady.
What a wimp.
Yeah, and at the very end of the game, they try to make her do a heel face turn, say that she's part of she's part of what's going on, and it's like, no, it just doesn't feel right. It's like, where was this lady the entire time of the game, where she was hiding in the computer room the entire time? And I think it's kind of weird that there's this other girl. I think it's supposed to be Isaac's girlfriend, even though it doesn't like come out and say she girlfriend, wife, sister, cousin, whatever. It's just this girl he keeps seeing visions of, and it's pretty obvious that she's not actually there. That's just hallucinations. And at the end, it's revealed. Shock, twist. Oh my god, she's been dead the whole time. Yeah, it's kind of freaking obvious what's going on with her. And what's kind of disappointing is the way they decided to reveal it. There's a person that comes up at the end that reveals themselves to be a corrupt government agent, and oh yeah, by the way, your girlfriend's been dead the whole time. It's like, okay, that was obvious. The corrupt government agent that claims credit for all the situation, that's weird because it doesn't feel necessary. It's just, oh, we have a government, evil government, corrupted government now. It's like, that doesn't mean anything to the story. It's just pointless. And also, you get a whole 2 abilities in the game that you can upgrade and unlock. You have telekinesis, which is just called kinesis. You can pick things up and move it around with your abilities, which leads to some really annoying physical puzzles, I guess you can call them, where you're supposed to pick up a node and put it, a power node, and put it into the wall. Ooh, that's challenging. There's also a room you walk into, and the room is locked until you get rid of the floating blocks around the thing. Okay, well, unfortunately, the game doesn't tell you how to use the kinetic ability, so I spent several hours trying to pull these blocks around the room. And oh no, if you flick this one of the thumbsticks in a certain way, it'll pull and move the sticks around. But I guess they didn't feel it necessary to say how to use the controls inside the game. And there's also a stasis ability where you can pause and slow down time on certain effects. But again, it's like every time you walk up to something, hey, there's a door slamming back and forth, and they will come on the radio and feel it necessary to tell you, oh, you need to use stasis on that to slow it down. Or there's a platform zooming back and forth. Oh, you better use stasis to slow that down. It's like, yeah, thank you. You don't have to say that every single time. And something also interesting that's in the game is there's not really any cutscenes. Everything is displayed on this holographic panel that will pop in front of the character's face. So, someone comes on the radio, has to tell you something. There's a holographic panel that comes up when you have to use your start menu. There's a holographic panel that comes up in front of this face. Kind of a neat feature, but it kind of gets annoying because sometimes you'll be going down the hallway, pick up a video log of what happened on the ship, and then, hey, I'm glad that they're showing me what's going on in the ship where their zombies are crawling all over me. Or, hey, and there you have to open the start menu to get the health packs, which I do like there's health packs in there. Oh, I'm glad that there's this in front of my face. Or, yeah, you'll be looking in one direction and there's important plot elements going on in front of you, but if you want to see that, you're not going to be shooting the zombies that are crawling around you. But I do have kind of mixed feelings on that pop-up thing, because it is kind of an interesting mechanic that there's the pop-up thing. It doesn't pause, so it does give a little bit of a challenge to be sorting out your inventory while being mauled. So you kind of have to do a balance of whether you want to get healed or get through the horde right now. trust me, it does get messy as you're disassembling zombies around you. You kind of have to sludge through the body parts that end up laying around. And there are some levels where you're just sludging through the biomass that's growing on the walls and the floors. And the logs that are left behind give the impression that it does not smell pleasant. But let me go ahead and get to the good points. One of the things I really like about this game is you don't just shoot for center mass and just kind of fill your enemies full of lead till they fall over, or just aim for headshots. You do have to like take out the limbs and take out the arms and legs, and if you just take out the legs, they'll use their arms to crawl towards you until you dismantle them. I also like that you have to go around finding power nodes to upgrade your weapons and armor. It is kind of neat that you can upgrade a starting pistol so much that you can just play the whole game through with just the starting pistol. Although it does degrade the other weapons a bit if you can just use the starting pistol all the way through. I do like that you have to go around looking for health packs and save points. It's just a thing that doesn't show up in games very much anymore. That you can just drop in and drop out anymore. Although there is a pretty generous checkpoint system, if you do get taken out, you don't get wiped out the entire day's worth of save. And the bad points? Whew. This game has not aged well in terms of graphics. I try to talk more about art style, especially with the older games, but this game just looks bad. It just did not age very well. And with the art design, everything looks like super heavy industrialized. I mean, yeah, it is a mining ship, but people are supposed to be living in this area, and it just doesn't. Living in this ship would be horrible. And one thing I thought I would like is that if enemies get too close to you and they jump on you, it'll trigger a quick time event. And I thought that'd be pretty neat. Every time a monster jumps on you, you have to do a quick thing, but no, it's just mash A until they jump off, and it triggers a pre-figured out cutscene, or pre-rendered animation. Every time someone jumps on you, you have to just mash A until they get off of you. So that can get pretty old pretty quick. Something else that just kind of feels sloppy is the over-the-shoulder view. It's kind of interesting that the health of Isaac's current health is displayed on his back, so you can see how much hit points he has left and about how much on his back. But the way he moves around the area is just bad to look at. It's just, I think it would look a lot better in a first person view, and it had just a health bar at the top of the screen. The one thing I really don't like about this game is there's no sense of agency in the story. You play as a silent protagonist going from point to point. Hey, go fix that. You go fix that. Okay, go fix that. So you go fix that. The entire time is you're just being barked orders at, and you don't like. There's sometimes there will be a little bit of a logic puzzle that you're supposed to use your telekinesis to push something over, or pick up a power node, put it in there, or something like that. But it really doesn't feel like you are the player is actually doing anything. It's just kind of going along with what he's being told to do. And every time you'll have to run into a situation where you have to use a telekinesis or the stasis, you have to be told. The game feels that you need to be told to use the telekinesis or stasis on it. It's like, thanks. I'm glad you're here to tell me how to do this that I'm doing. It's a good thing I don't have to figure out this myself, or figure out where I'm supposed to be going, because you're always going to tell me where I need to go, what I needed to be doing. It feels insulting, the entire game. I mean, I guess if the game itself told me to do it, it'd probably be better instead of someone coming on the radio every time I needed to go do something. Like, oh well, I'm not sharing my opinion very well on that. But anyway, for the final score of this game, I'm going to score it pretty darn low. I'm going to just give it a 2 out of 5. Every once in a while, there will be a kind of a cool idea, a kind of an interesting way to look at something, but it just feels so sloppy and like generic. It's like, hey, we want to do a sci-fi horror. I guess we gotta go through zombies. I guess, I don't know. It just feels so blah. I guess if it was 7 or 8 years ago when this game came, I guess it's almost 10 years now. But if I was reviewing this game a while ago, when it came out, I probably would have scored it higher. But it just feels so generic. But yeah, that's my thoughts on Dead Space. If you like it, tell me why. I'm not saying I absolutely hate this game. It doesn't feel very inspired. But thanks for watching. Every first Saturday of the month, I want to talk about a video game I played. Hopefully, I can get in the habit of actually doing these game reviews. But until then, I'll see you later.